and also the attorney for Colin Kaepernick, and I guess they're great friends as well. So I guess that's where the whole talk about, oh yeah, maybe Brady, we don't know if Brady is going to be for another 4 or 5 years. We need to start planning for the future and everything.
We just won the Super Bowl, people. Relax.
I know.
We've been there 8 years. Come on.
Well,
Everybody just chill. He's too much of a distraction, dude. You can't, you can't, when Moss came, he was a distraction, but he had the best freaking quarterback in the world to.
but here's the situation. Okay, so I'm glad you brought that out because we've had some troublesome kids, those players that you mentioned.
Gordon.
Okay,
Yeah.
Gordon, Randy Moss.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that became a defining moment, if you will, was Bill Belichick. Because I guarantee you, Bill Belichick had those conversations with Randy Moss and the Josh Gordons of the world and said, listen, you want to play for the Patriots, you're going to play my way. None of this bullshit, because if you do, you're not playing at all.
Yeah.
Just another example was Malcolm Butler. In the 2 Super Bowls ago, where he didn't play. Who knows what he did? We still don't know what he did.
Practice. Late for practice.
Okay, so
blowing curfew. Bill don't tolerate any of that shit. And players even said in reports, yeah, the Patriots are a firm team and players don't want to come play for that format. Even though they're probably going to win a Super Bowl, it's hard to tell a millionaire, run the hill. Run the hill. Do this. Do that. Do this. No. Egos get in the way, and unfortunately, if you don't want to be on a winning team, then
right.
If
like business is business, there are certain people that I know it happens in the corporate world. There are people that you probably personally do not like, but if they can do their job, then you know what, they become an asset to the company or the corporate world, whatever you want to call it. Now, if Colin Kaepernick comes to the Patriots, they're better. I'm guaranteeing you right now, especially under Bill Belichick's watch, there'll be no bullshit. There will not be any bullshit with
what was the
guy.
other distraction we had with what's his face that came to the Patriots?
Oh, Ocho Cinco?
No, number 5 there, the quarterback for he played for Denver, and then he faded. What the hell's his name? The church guy, the guy that churches. Tebow, yeah.
Tebow.
Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow, yeah.
He was a distraction because what they do is, it's,
they have everybody. Those types of players have, and I can understand that. But just like Kimber said, there's a time and a place for situations like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when you're in the sports world, that is not the place to do it. We even had the situation with Tim Thomas in 2011 after we won the Stanley Cup playoffs. Tim Thomas went on this whole political and religious thing. I don't know exactly what happened. The Bruins organization said, "Listen, we've had enough," and they shipped him down to Florida. I love that. I love Tim Tebow. I mean, Tim Thomas. But you know what? There's a time and a place, and unfortunately, in the sports world, it's not the right place to do it. You need a different form to do it. So
yeah, he gives a need during the season, but in the off season, you don't hear fucking shit.
It's true.
You know what? If you have something that political or whatever, don't just do it for the season, man.
Do it off
24/7.
Sure.
Yeah. That's bullshit.
Yeah, you're correct. Yeah. Anyway, I just you heard it first here. Colin Kaepernick might be a future player of the Patriots. Business is business, but let's see what happens. But I'm telling you right now.
Well, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm looking at it from more of a sports, move, if you will. I don't think Colin Kaepernick is the right quarterback for the Patriots, regardless if he's, his whole political protest and all of this good stuff. I don't think he's the right quarterback for the Patriots.
I don't think Brady would allow it. I really don't. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
He would just be like, Bill, I don't need this distraction. Because everything will be focused on him. Not that we're winning or everything, or that everybody's anticipating to take a
What
knee.
did you do this week?
What if he during the? This is what's going to happen. We're going to be up 30-something to something. He comes in, takes a knee to run the clock out, and then be like, "Yeah, he did. He took a knee."
Yeah, I know.
You know, it's that kind of bullshit, man.
But if the Patriots are the most hated team now, just
They will
because of
definitely
just because they're a superior team, imagine if Colin becomes part of the Patriots. The team will be even more hated
Feels like an
actually-
for even more
oxymoron.
different reasons.
No, Rihanna will become a New England Patriots fan because she is in love with Kaepernick.
Who?
Rihanna.
Rihanna.
Oh.
She didn't do the Super Bowl because of him.
I don't know.
It's like an oxymoron. It just
it's
feels
It
weird.
just I,
So
Go
weird.
go to Carolina, Kaepernick. Do your thing down there.
Yeah,
you
and-
don't need. We're going repeating this year. We don't need that distraction. That's right. You heard it here first. We're going back to back.
603-217-5400. What do you think? Colin Kaepernick, would he be a good fit for the Patriots? Or do you think he'll be a distraction? Or do you think he will add value towards the Patriots organization? All right, so there you go. Let's continue. Please. Let's.
Dude, they are worshiping something up there.
Oh my God, no kidding. They're going to come through the ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, I was like, what is going on? I could
So-
hear it
For
through
our
my-
listeners, just in case you don't know, we are surrounded by different cultural churches in this building, and the one above us really
Sad part
likes
is they're
to sing and
actually,
dance.
like, down
and-
the hall upstairs.
yeah, I'm not sure where they're located upstairs, but they really do sound like they're coming through the ceiling at any time.
They sound like they're
So-
worshiping a goat.
There's something going on up there. I don't know. One of us should sneak up there sometime and look. If we don't come back.
Sacrificing a lamb or something. I don't know.
We can next time we do that, we'll bring one of our wireless microphone systems, add it to the show, and then you can bring a wireless mic and go up there.
Oh my God, that'd be hilarious.
So, what's going on today?
All right.
If you see me
Yeah.
sleeping in the corner, it's because the medication is kicking in.
Mike's on drugs.
Is it the what did you take? Thank you very much.
No, we're doing commercials
Yeah,
now. A lot of commercials.
that was
Auto fair makes it happen.
yo.
Woohoo.
Stop.
Do you need a card?
God, auto fair, you just got a free promo.
Mhm.
Thank you very much for that. All right.
And our
No,
da-
as a matter of fact, I'm
and
trying
our
to.
daughter no longer works there, so
Yeah, it's. I'm bringing up this story because actually Inside Edition covered this story very well. I really don't know how I feel about the story, and I mentioned on our Facebook page that I would bring up the story and listen to this and see what you think. So this 10-year-old girl has been charged as an adult in the death of a 6-month-old baby she allegedly killed in a Wisconsin home daycare run by her foster parents. The unnamed girl, obviously they can't name her because she is, under the legal age, was at her foster parents' home in Tilden, Wisconsin, when she allegedly dropped a baby boy on October 30th in Chippewa County District Attorney Wade Newell said in court on Monday. The child hit his head and began crying, at which point the girl started to panic. She panicked and didn't know what to do and didn't want to get into trouble. So what she decided to do was the child hit it. Oh, okay, so let me backtrack and let me give you the point of the story. The child hit its head on the footstool and the child started crying. Again, the baby was 6 months old. She panicked and didn't know what to do and didn't want to get into trouble. Then she proceeded to stomp on the 6-month-old's head. The boy was rushed to a hospital, but he was unable to be saved. After 2 days in the hospital, he was pronounced dead on November 1st. The little girl allegedly confessed to hurting the boy in her shoes as well as the footstool the boy hit his head on and was taken into evidence according to officials. She was charged as an adult for first-degree homicide with the intent, which is considered a felony, as we all know. Wisconsin state law dictates anyone 10 years old or older accused of a felony first-degree homicide must see their case first brought into adult court. By statute, a 10-year-old or older is required to at least start out the process in an adult court, and then we'll figure out where it goes from there. The little girl reportedly sobbed in her biological mother's arms as the case was described. She has been removed from the custody of her biological parents in September, according to reports, and is likely the case that will be referred to juvenile court. Now, I'm not sure if you guys saw the video. It was heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. This poor little girl, she's in shackles. The sheriffs are bringing her into court. And so many emotions ran into me. I mean, yes, she's 10 years old. She did something, I mean, drastic. I mean, it was from what I read here.
She's 10 years old.
She's charged with.
Legally, she can't even be home by herself at 10 years old.
She's charged with first-degree homicide. So I'm looking at my colleagues, my panel here. Who wants to go first? Yes, no. What do you think? What
state was this?
Wisconsin. Green Bay territory.
It's what they call an effed up story. It's just, what can you do? I mean, the laws are law. We have laws for a reason. What if you don't shackle this girl and she goes and hurts an officer or something?
But
I'm thinking outside the box here. Okay, I just watched an episode of Chicago PD or whatever it's called, and this 12-year-old girl was in this psych ward, and they just let their guard down. She kills 2 doctors. 12 years old. And you're like, what? So, you tell me. No shackles?
Well,
or you have remorse and feel bad for
right.
her.
All right. You know me. I like to play devil's advocate. There's a difference between an episode of Chicago PD
I'm just
than real life.
Giving you a for instance.
No, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
But when the 10-year-old obviously doesn't show any signs of any psychiatric, demise.
Who are you, a doctor now?
Well, I don't know. I'm assuming,
Oh, you're assuming.
I don't know. I'm assuming.
Okay.
She's already she's 10 years old. She's not living with her biological parents, so that's one thing. So obviously there could be something mentally unstable, maybe, because she's living with foster parents. Who knows how she's being brought up? She panicked. She didn't want to get in trouble. She starts stomping on this 6-month-old baby's head to shut him up. Where do we draw the line? I mean,
what if it was your kid that got his head stomped on? I mean, it's a touchy subject, man.
We've had this we've had these conversations before when it's different when it happens to you personally, but as looking as not a spectator but as a viewer of this story. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I really don't. Ladies, I'm looking at you because obviously the you guys feel a different way because you're mothers, if you will. You know what I mean? The femininity side of things. You guys look at stories like this in a different view than a guy. Help me out here. I don't know. Who wants to go first?
Okay. All right. So my theory behind this whole thing is this little girl is being charged with murder. She was not in charge of this baby. The daycare which her foster parents were doing was in charge of the baby. So if you're going to charge the 10-year-old with murder, then you need to charge the foster parents with negligence. They were the ones that were supposed to be watching this baby, not a 10-year-old.
I never thought of that part of that scenario. Interesting.
This little girl is 10 years old. Who knows how she was brought up? I mean, she's in foster care. Who knows how she was brought up by her actual parents? Maybe she was taken out because they used to slap her. Maybe, there's so many things behind this. And honestly, I really don't think a 10-year-old should be charged with murder. I mean,
Wisconsin law. You heard the story.
But by law,